Season, the NHL season. So we're going to now check in with Chris Matthews, who has our Friday night sports special. Hey, Chris.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, good evening, everybody. What a special it's going to be. We're going to have a fun 45 minutes planned ahead. We're talking about everything in sports in Las Vegas. The Knights, the Lights, prep college football, 51s, PGA golf, and much, much more. We'll start with the NFL. How about the Raiders and Packers playing right now in Oakland? Boring game going on, 3-3 as they head into the halftime. Neither team looking that sharp. We'll have complete highlights of that game for you tonight at 11 o'clock. How about some college football? The season starts tomorrow, if you can believe that. Mountain West teams, Hawaii visiting Colorado State. That's kind of an odd season opening conference game. Wyoming also plays. They got New Mexico State. And next season, or next week, we should say, UNLV opens up its season at USC. Well, that's a pretty important game right there. More on that just a little bit later. But how about that? Important for the Rebels also because Tony Sanchez knows he's got the talent to win. Now they're getting the facilities to compete with other Mountain West schools for the talent. No reason to think that UNLV can't or won't be on the radar. These talented kids being recruited by other Mountain West schools. UNLV will soon have a football facility and stadium to help open the eyes and bring that talent to turn around this program.
You know, now as we go into the 2018 season, a lot of the things we've worked so hard for many years are starting to come to fruition. I mean, you look at that building going up. I mean, that was, a lot of people thought we could never get that done, and, you know, thought, oh, yeah, good luck with that. And, you know, sure enough, there it is. It's just hard work, keeping your head down and, you know, believing in the process. No different than building this football team. You know, I think we're at a point now where we've got some real depth. We've got some really good kids. There, you know, we've fixed the academic problems around here. We've fixed the social problems around here. We're winning more games consistently than we ever have before. Now it's time for us to take that next step on the field and off the field.
It's something that you're looking forward to. When you come outside and practice, you see a building being built, and you just see every day, you just think, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And then when you're driving down and you see the Raiders Stadium getting built, that's even bigger because of how much people it's going to bring to the city of Las Vegas and how much foundation it can build for the program of UNLV in the future. So it's exciting, especially the facility is probably one of the most exciting things I've been a part of. And when it gets built and I'm still here, I'm going to be excited to be in it, especially because it has resources that other schools already have. And, you know, that we're kind of late to it, but it's okay that we're getting it right now. So we're just going to take the most exciting part about it and just enjoy it.
It's more just, you know, like catching up. You know, it's a new age. You know, you need the new facilities. You know, you need new, like, you know, high-tech stuff, like I said. And you need to, like, work on, like, you know, getting the new generation, you know, attention. You know, you got to find a way, you know, get them to come and see, like, okay, UNLV is about business, you know. Even though we have the old facility, we still love it, but the new facility is going to help us out big time.
You know, just like the foundation's being built, we're building the foundation, you know. And, I mean, Coach Sanchez just preaches toughness, and he preaches just the culture we got to build. And that's something we're working on every day, and building leadership and just building the team.
All right, so the Rebels excited about next week's opener at USC in the Coliseum. Last time they played, 97. We'll have more on that coming up in this hour. Well, the sports special continues. NASCAR hits the Speedway in 3 weeks for its very first September race in Vegas. You got a triple header, in fact. The trucks on Friday, Xfinity race Saturday, Monster Energy roars into Vegas on Sunday, and the Knights getting ready for year 2. We caught up with head coach Gerard Gallant. He'll talk about some of the players, bringing a few new faces, and what fans can expect. That's coming up next here on Channel 8. righty, and welcome back. Boy, things are getting pretty busy around City National right now. The Golden Knights are getting set to open camp next month. Ron Futrell caught up with Golden Knights head coach Gerard Gallant. Ron.
All right, thanks, Chris. Yes, the hockey season has begun here tonight with UNLV Hockey having an inter-squad scrimmage here tonight. Gerard Gallant from the Golden Knights, thank you for joining us here on our sports special at Channel 8. And well, you look great. You look tanned, rested. First of all, how was your summer?
It was a great summer. I went back home to Prince Edward Island and had a little bit of golfing, a little bit of poker with my buddies on Friday and Sunday nights, and a lot of babysitting with the grandchildren. So it was awesome. I had a great summer.
That's always fun. Good. Okay, so this upcoming season now, a little bit different than the inaugural season. Expectations were low, and you guys exceeded them by tons. This year, expectations going to be higher. Does that change at all what you do, or you just keep going the same direction?
No, it doesn't change nothing. Really, it doesn't. I mean, I talked to you guys last year a lot about one day at a time, and it's going to be the same thing this year. We're going to take it one game at a time and, prepare the same one we did last year and do a lot of things the same way we did last year, and hopefully we get the W's. So you can't look, just because, like I said, we had a successful year last year, it doesn't mean we're going to be successful this year. We got to work hard every day. We got to do the right things, and hopefully we will.
Okay, specifics. Lost a couple of guys that I know you really like with James Neal and David Perron to free agency, but picking up a quality center, maybe a great center, and Paul Stastny. Where do you see him fitting in with this team?
Yeah, he's going to be a great player. I mean, we played against him last year. He's been in the league a long time. He's a talented guy that plays a 200-foot game. You can put him on the ice in any situation. He reminds me of a Riley Smith type of player, or a penalty kill, power play, last minute of a game when you're down or up. So he's an important player for us. And like you said, we did lose some real good hockey players, and they were a big part of our group last year. But that's the NHL. That's what happens with free agency and all that stuff. So we'll move on, and we're still going to have a real strong hockey club. And good luck to those guys. They were real good for us last year.
My toughest question for you, William Karlsson. Happy to have him signed. That number one line back together again certainly was magical to watch last year, and having William Karlsson back while Bill back.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt he was coming back. It's just a matter of how long the contract was going to be and everything. Yeah, so it wasn't an issue there. But you know what? That line was incredible last year, and now they got to do it again.
Okay. Now, by my math, we're less than 2 weeks away from the rookies here, and less than 3 weeks away from the veterans reporting to camp. What sort of feel do you get this time of year? Are you starting to feel the chill, if you will, and the excitement of the season beginning?
As coaches, we're just trying to get prepared for training camp and make sure everybody's ready to go. And we're going away tomorrow for 3 days up in Montana at Bill's Ranch up there, and we're going to have coaching meetings with the American Hockey League coaches. So we're trying to get prepared and get ready. And with all the players coming in, with 60 players coming to camp, we want to make sure we're ready. But it's exciting. We're getting ready. Like you said, last year was so much fun, and we're ready to get back at it.
All right, heading up to Bill Foley's ranch up in Montana. Chris, you know that place well. You've been there before, too. So good luck, Coach, in the upcoming season, and looking forward to seeing what the Knights can do this year.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Chris, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Ron. From hockey to NASCAR now. For most of his life, Brendan Gaughan has represented Las Vegas on racing's biggest stage. Now he wears the hat of a sponsor and broadcaster, and no one is more excited about the Cup Chase race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in 3 weeks.
It's special. I'm bummed that I'm not racing full time anymore, because having the first race of the Cup Series playoffs here, but it's also the last race of the Xfinity Series playoffs. So that would have been fun to come here to try to get into the playoffs or try to secure a spot at my home track to come in the late, the early fall-ish era. But you know what? It's just fantastic. The track worked hard to get it here. I think you're going to see a great race because of the heat. A lot of people complain about the race that happens in Vegas. When it's cooler, the track it doesn't slip and slide as much. And now you're going to have this heat. It's a noon start time on that Sunday. So that means it's going to be heat of the day. It'll still be nice for the fans, but it's still going to be a nice hot racetrack, slick, and the guys are going to have to work their tails off, and that's what I like to watch. Stressful on drivers and crew chiefs and owners. Some sponsors give you bonus money if you make it to the playoffs, and right now sponsorship is real tight for some. So that number is a huge deal to make it to the playoffs. From the broadcast side, look, we want momentum. We want things to go well. So we want to have great races. And the last 3 weeks to this point have been some of the best NASCAR races in history. Now, the playoff format has definitely changed NASCAR as a whole. And now when you start a playoff format at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and you look at it, and right off the bat, 2 guys are from Las Vegas, their hometown, Durango High School. I mean, that's that's where they went. You know, and 2 guys are going to be starting that race. One of them, of course, a favorite to win the championship, and Kyle, and Kurt Busch at Stewart-Haas Racing, which is a favorite to win the championship also, just Kevin Harvick's side. Their Fords are really strong. So to have both boys from Vegas on such strong race teams, I'm excited to watch how this goes. It could be it'd be fun to watch both Busch brothers make it to Homestead in the championship round.
All right, that was going to be a lot of fun, getting excited for NASCAR to roll in here. But now let's talk some golf. PGA pros will make their way to Las Vegas this fall. Kevin E. Martin has a special guest. Talking golf in Vegas is always a lot of fun, Kevin E.
Thanks, Chris. We are joined by the executive director of the Shriners Open, Patrick Lindsley. Patrick, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
So let's get started off. You know, this is your 4th year as the executive director of the Shriners Open. Can you give us an idea of what exactly goes in the weeks and the months prior to an event that always seems to be a success?
Yeah, so it's, I mean, obviously an annual event this year. It's October 29th through November 4th. What really goes into a day-to-day basis, it is all about making sure that we're getting a product out on the golf course that everyone can really be proud of. So outside of selling tickets and hospitality, it's really kind of taking our golf course, looking at it as almost like a blank canvas that we can go out and build anything that we want to make sure that we're providing exactly what the fans are looking for. So this year we're gonna, still have our Hill product, which is a $35 ticket. Casamigos is the title sponsor of that venue. Red Rock's going to be in there serving drinks and some of the best food from their restaurants, and Topgolf's going to be in there with a simulator. So really trying to bring all of these great elements that the city has to the golf course, and especially into the Hill.
And one of the most unique things, or something that I think makes this PGA event so unique, is the volunteers. Yeah. And when you speak to the volunteers, they describe it as a second family. What is it like for you to be a part of something so special?
Well, it's really what makes and what really fuels these PGA Tour events, because in order to put on a PGA Tour event, you need about 1,000 volunteers. You cannot do it without them. Everything that we do, all the playing that we do, we run through our volunteers and make sure that what we are planning, that they can help support us. And without them, we can't do what we do. We cannot give back to the hospitals as much as we do currently. So without them, we really are nothing. So without those guys and coming out and volunteering for the tournament, we really owe everything to them. And again, it's about 1,000 volunteers that come out and help us, and anywhere from volunteer services, helping with the players, being on-course marshals. It's a really fun and special experience.
Now let's talk field.
Yeah.
Now I know it's not officially set yet, but I've been hearing some rumors that this might be one of the most stacked fields, if not ever, that we've seen in most recent years.
Yeah, I would say this year we're about a month away probably from being able to announce some names and be able to see what exactly our field's going to look like this year. But we are really excited with what it's looking like. We're excited to be able to announce some really good names this year. We are identifying these top 10, top 20 players in the world, creating relationships with their agencies, and really making sure that they know that we want them here. And we have resources to make sure that they are taken care of here and that our golf course is in the best shape for them. So we're really excited of what our field looks like, and that just helps us make sure that we're giving a great product to our fans that are coming out. So outside of the ropes, we want to make sure the entertainment inside the ropes is top notch too.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you, so everyone's obviously heard about the Tiger versus Phil Mickelson, the $9 million match Thanksgiving weekend here in Vegas. I got to know your thoughts on this, your initial thoughts, and secondly, who you got?
Well, really excited about it because, I mean, this match is something that we've been waiting for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years. So we're really excited about them coming here. I think it just adds to what can happen at the Shriners Open and the excitement they have. My money right now is on Tiger. It's such an incredible story. I followed him and Phil basically my whole golf professional life, and I think he's going to pull it off.
Okay, well, there you have it. He's got Tiger. Actually, I have lefty. I think Phil might pull this one off. But remember, the 2018 Shriners Hospital for Children Open is October 29th through November 4th at TPC Summerlin. Go get your tickets now for this awesome event. And Chris, speaking of awesome sporting events, when it comes to high school football, it doesn't get much better than the one tonight between Gorman and Mater Dei on the national stage, does it?
That's right. Thank you very much, guys. It sure doesn't. Now, you had 2 nationally ranked teams, powerhouse teams, battling in Vegas tonight. We'll go live to Gorman High School. John Treach will show us how how that one unfolded. But coming up next, we've got the owner of the Vegas Lights, Las Vegas Lights FC in studio. We'll visit with Brett Lashbrook. It's his team. Remember, by the city, for the city, of the city. He's got a real cool promotion coming up. You want to hear this next here on Channel 8.
On 8 News Now.
All right, and welcome back to this Friday night sports special. Gorman hosting Mater Dei here in Vegas tonight. Fertitta Field was just packed. Let's head out to Gorman High School. And tonight's game really didn't unfold how anybody expected. I'll tell you what, John, some embarrassing people out there at Fertitta Field tonight, huh?
Yeah, Chris, Gorman knows all about 42-0, but being on the other side of it is a pretty unfamiliar feeling. It was a monster matchup with one monster and one mortal team tonight at Fertitta Field. Mater Dei Gorman started with the hype in history. 2 teams combined for the last 4 high school national championships. What history. Easily 5,000 people here to watch Gorman defense force 2 turnovers. That's Ikaika, Windward, and Lincoln Tuiati Mariner with the takeaways early on. It was a close game in the first half, but the Mater Dei Monarchs are loaded, and they have an especially great quarterback. Bryce Young, just a junior, destined for greatness, 14-0, and that was all she wrote. This was 42-0. Kenny Sanchez says the Gales' only choice is to get to work.
Yeah, we were going to see a team like that against Centennial High School from Arizona, who beat St. Thomas Aquinas last year and barely lost to Chandler. So, and then we're going to see an Orem team who were Utah State champs last year, and then we're going to see De La Salle. So we are going to see a team like that for the next 3 weeks.
What's going to be your message this week as you just try to put this behind you?
We have about 24 hours to get over it, and got to move on tomorrow morning. I mean, it's adversity. That happened. It is what it is. That's not going to get erased. We're backs against the wall. We got to show tomorrow morning. Got to get back to work, just like everybody else has a hard day. It is what it is, but we got no time to waste. We got to travel to Arizona and play a really good team. So
Young team, though. I mean, they're only going to get better from week one.
yeah, I mean, well, I hope so. But you know, that's on us. That's on the coaches. You know, we didn't. Well, you know, I didn't have those guys ready to go. You know, we're not 42 points worse than that team. We look sloppy. We had too many penalties. It's a bad job by me.
You know, the kids did everything we asked. The hydration plan coming out here. You know, we were on time for everything. You know, they shut it down last night and got some rest. You know, it's those little things that help you win. In honesty, I never saw this one coming. You know, I thought we had a good shot at beating them, but, you know, not like this. And I can't say enough about our defense. You know, we were a little shaky on O at the start. We had some opportunities, you know, the turnovers, but I could sense that they weren't worried about it. You know, when we left the locker room, I knew we were ready to play. I really did. And you know, it's a game of momentum, and we just kept grabbing momentum and making big plays. And, you know, Bryce Young was special tonight. You know, a little shaky at the start, but then all of a sudden he does what he does. You know, they blitzed about 9 million people, and Jacoby had a great block. Bryce got underneath that block, and, you know, I think that just broke their back, that long run. You know, I think that was the 14th point. You know, that, and then the other thing about our offense, they knew our defense had it under control. They knew that you know, we pride ourselves on how hard we play, and we pride ourselves on hitting, and we got after them pretty good.
Have you had a team as talented as this?
Yeah, last year. You know, I mean, we were 15-0 last year, and these kids don't worry about that. We put our championship rings away, and we went back to work. The interesting thing is we're really young too, so you know it's you know, and it's great on national television, and you know, I'm proud of what we did.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time. Yeah, definitely a hidden blessing in tonight's events are that we got to meet Mater Dei's coach, who is the embodiment of old school. He's the guy who says water is for wimps, right? But he's got a talented juggernaut in Mater Dei. They are definitely on track for another national title. You know, as I mentioned before, the last 4 national champions were on this field. Gorman, plenty of history, but for once, they learned what it was like to be on the other side of a beatdown like that. They had a running clock here for the other team, believe it or not. But you know, Gorman, they'll be better. And yes, as Coach Kenny Sanchez says, they got to be better next week as they travel to Arizona. Chris?
John, let me ask you a question. Earlier in the week, we talked to Kenny Sanchez about this team not really having those 2-3 superstar players, but everybody kind of has to figure out, you know, as over the course of the season, what their roles are and what they'll become. Did you see any, you know, any bright spots on that Gorman side at all?
They've got a great offensive lineman, Bo Taylor, who's committed to UCLA. I mean, he looks different. He is a special kid, and by all accounts, he is going to be a special player, too, for this team. But they are missing playmakers on the edge. You know, there were 7 graduates here on the sidelines for Gorman, all at Power 5 schools who are back at home supporting their alma mater. And Gorman's just missing those type of dynamic kids on the perimeter to make plays and to take it to the house at any moment. So they need to find that playmaker, but we know Gorman, they probably will. Chris?
All right, thank you very much, John. We appreciate that. How about some basketball? Now, the Aces had a season come and go with the blink of an eye. Can't believe the season's already over. Future looks bright, though. We head over to Kevin E. Martin, who recently sat down with one of the rising stars in the WNBA, A'ja Wilson. Now, Kevin, the Aces picked a franchise player with that first pick, and boy, she delivered this season.
Yeah, Chris, A'ja Wilson had one of the most remarkable rookie seasons by a first-year player at the professional basketball level, man or woman. And now that year 1 is in the books, she sat down with us to reflect on her record-setting season. Now, A'ja, we spoke after your very first workout here. You were brand new to the city, brand new to the league. Fast forward to now, your rookie season's in the books. Can you put the last 4 months into perspective and what it meant to you?
It'll be an and 1 for A'ja Wilson.
It was something special. It definitely was. I was not expecting to have the season that I had. but definitely I'm just so excited to get back here and to continue to grow with this team. I think we really showed a lot of people what we're about, what Vegas is about, and what this league is about, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. I wish I could sum up these 4 months in words, but it's been so special and so much fun. I had a lot of fun.
And you mentioned the season that you had. Could you ever imagine that essentially the transition from college to the WNBA would kind of be so seamless for you? Or, I mean, from the outsider's perspective, that's what it kind of looked like?
Yeah, I definitely would not expect it to be that way. Coming in, I was just really doubting myself, honestly. I was like, oh my goodness, I have this #1 draft pick pressure and everyone's going to expect me to do this and that, but really just coming here to just a new franchise and a new team as a whole, a new city, it was really no pressure at all, and I think that's what really kind of relaxed me and relaxed my process, because I really didn't have any pressure and I didn't feel it. So yeah, at times I probably would have never imagined that I would be the player that I was this year, but I definitely wouldn't take it I wouldn't take it for granted.
Was there any challenge this season, or what could you say was maybe the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge for me would have to be just my strength-wise. I mean, I was competing against some of the best who've been in the game for years now, and you know, they know how to defend us young guns. So I think that was my biggest challenge, is when people are leaning on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, get off me, please. But I think that kind of brought another aspect to my game of just kind of how can I still produce for my team when I'm feeling uncomfortable. And I think that was the biggest thing. Another thing that I learned this season is how can I come out of my comfort zone and still perform.
And you already mentioned how excited you are for next season, looking ahead, and that was really the story of the season. You know, obviously you got off to a slow start, but this team really found itself. Talk about that growth of this team, what that was like to be a part of.
It was different. It was really different, but I think we meshed pretty well. Once we kind of got things going, we were all on the same page very quickly, because we were all young. We were all in it together. We didn't have anything to lose, and we were just looking to have fun, honestly. We didn't have any pressure on our shoulders. We didn't have people coming before us that was like, you know, carry the legacy. It was new. We were just out there being us, doing us, and that's what it's all about.
So what's next this off season? Obviously, you got some months. Do you have any plans? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to be in the USA training camp for September, and October I'll be headed to China. It's a 4-month season, so I should be back around January, February-ish, and from there, I do not know. I don't know yet. I think that's the beauty of it all. I'm just taking it all in and just enjoying it.
And what a blast we had covering this young and talented team in its inaugural season. Really looking forward to see what they can do in the future, Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. We appreciate that. Still ahead on this sports special here on a Friday night, we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Lights FC, a real cool promotion coming up. Also, baseball. That's coming up next right here on Channel 8.
Alfa Romeo on Jones and Sahara.
Well, the 51s are coming to their end of the run at Cashman Field. It's been a 36-year run for a team at a ballpark in downtown Las Vegas. For 18 years, they were the Stars, and then the last 18 years, they've been known as the 51s. The 51s, a new name, a new affiliate next year, a new ballpark, all coming online next season. Should be a lot of fun. Ron Futrell has more.
All right, thanks, Chris. Yes, we're talking baseball now, getting set for, well, let's see, this time next year, certainly baseball will be here in downtown Summerlin. But in fact, 8 months from now, we'll have the stadium built and ready to go here in downtown Summerlin. But Don Logan's joining me now, and Larry Brown in just a little bit. But Don, president of the Las Vegas Stars /51s, the team's coming here. First of all, Cashman Field, though. Plans for what's going to happen for the final week coming up?
Well, I mean, obviously we got to celebrate that. It's the end of a 36-year run in this town in pro sports is unheard of. Nobody's ever done it. Gives you time to reflect and think that it's been great and it's been a great run.
Also joining us here, Larry Brown, former Stars pitcher back in the day. So your thoughts on the farewell to Cashman Field and the Stars that you started with?
A lot of emotion. You know, I look back to that first year. We had Bruce Bochy as our catcher, now a Hall of Fame manager. Kevin McReynolds from North Little Rock, Arkansas. John Kruk. The cast of characters back there. But it was the experience here in Las Vegas and Cashman Field that helped my wife and I decide to make Las Vegas our home. Not only because of the baseball aspect, because of the community.
Okay, and to Don, this is your baby, this ballpark. I mean, it really is. I mean, you've worked hard for a long time, wanted this to happen. Now it's becoming a reality. There's got to be some excitement about what the future holds for the Las Vegas Stars, 51s, and a new team name.
The excitement and the anticipation and just, seeing the steel go up in the last couple weeks is just, that really, it's reality. It's something that we have worked at a long time, and a lot of us. I mean, it's not certainly just me, but I mean, there's not going to be a major league park better. It'll be the nicest ballpark in America, and it should be.
All right, looking forward to that happening. But yes, Chris, looking forward to baseball here at downtown Summerlin coming up in 8 months. Reporting live from downtown Summerlin, Ron Futrell, 8 News Now. Chris?
All right, thank you very much, Ron. Coming up on the Sports Special, here's the guy who's going to take over at Cashman Field. We'll visit with Brett Lashberg. That's next right here on Channel
Get the bottom line at Planet Nissan.
All righty, and welcome back. We're here with one of our favorite guys because he's all about Las Vegas. Joining us is the owner of the Las Vegas Lights, Brett Lashbrook. And Brett, appreciate you coming in tonight.
Absolutely.
I really do. This is fun to talk lights because you got some cool promotions. I want to talk about the one coming up in a couple of weeks where you're actually hovering a helicopter over Cashman Field and dropping 10s and 20s and 5s, and what do you got going?
The Las Vegas Lights $5,000 helicopter cash drop at halftime of a game on Saturday, September 8th against Los Angeles Galaxy. At halftime, we'll select 200 fans, and we'll place them on the end line, and then we will have a helicopter come into Cashman Field. We've got approval from the FAA. We have Metro officers there, and we're going to have a lot of fun, right? And we're going to drop $5,000 of cash, various denominations, and we are going to have a soccer party at halftime. So we're going to have a great first half, give away cash, and then come back and win in the second half.
Like
yes.
Now you mentioned 200. Who's part of this 200? Who gets chosen to be? Who has the lucky golden
So
ticket?
you'll see. So the game is in 2 weeks, and we're going to start announcing various ways that we're going to start releasing this, right, to various different promotions leading up to it, as well as several spots will be given away on the spot that night, right? Someone, a fan told me today that they're going to come wrapped in tape so they can just roll around on the ground and get the money. So we want to have a lot of fun with this.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I got to ask you, we were talking about baseball in Cashman Field. You're going to be moving in there. Kind of give our viewers an idea of what you envision for Cashman Field as the 51s move out.
Yeah, so first of all, I always say the only people more happy than I am in our club that the 51s are moving to Summerlin is Don Logan, right? We saw in that spot. We love Cashman Field. We love downtown. Cashman Field is going to be professional soccer's version of Wrigley Field, Fenway Park. We are going to make it into a professional soccer stadium. People don't realize Cashman Field is the only baseball stadium in the world that's built as a square. So think about center field is a right angle. Behind home plate, there's no funky foul territory, right? It's all a square. So you can place a regulation size 110 by 70 yard FIFA regulated soccer pitch into the soccer field. Bring seats, bring amenities. We have a lot of cool ideas that coming in that we can build out in right in center field. We're going to turn that into a 10,000 plus three-sided professional soccer stadium right in the heart of the city. 20 minutes anywhere in the valley, you can get there.
Let me ask you, your whole goal initially, and you haven't been shy about it, your goal is to get an MLS team here eventually.
Yes.
You know, how does that happen? How do you do that? I know if someone gave you $10 million right now, you'd be on your way. But how does that happen?
It'll take a little bit more than that. But if you're listening, you can call me. So it's very simple. Soccer in America just continues to grow by leaps and bounds. And, Major League Soccer isn't done expanding. They're at 25 teams now. They'll go to 30 plus. 9 of the last 12 Major League Soccer expansion teams came from our division, right? So the best way to get to Major League Soccer is to demonstrate your soccer community and the success. The most recent Major League Soccer expansion team, Cincinnati. We're Las Vegas. We're so much better than Cincinnati. But Cincinnati is averaging over 17,000 fans a game in the USL, and that has attracted Major League Soccer to move to Ohio. If Cincinnati can do it, we can do it here.
What do you have to have at Cashman Field, a seating number to say, okay, look what we've done, let's move on?
Yeah, so there's lots of different ways to do it, right? The Finley family did a wonderful, wonderful effort here a handful of years ago to bring Major League Soccer here and building a new stadium. There's lots of different ways you can do it. So there's stadiums, the Portland Timbers in Major League Soccer, they also used to play in a AAA baseball stadium, and they've retrofitted it and converted that into a Major League Soccer stadium. There's a lot of layers to that onion, but absolutely I agree with Mayor Goodman that when you have 60-plus acres of undeveloped land in the heart of downtown Las Vegas, you can do a lot of really cool things with professional sports and all other types of development.
We got about 20 seconds. I want to ask you, you got a game coming up tomorrow, Fresno?
Yes, tomorrow night, downtown Las Vegas, Cashman Field. Everyone at home that you're enjoying a nice Friday night in, get out tomorrow. It's beautiful. Come see some soccer. It's going to be amazing. 6 o'clock, the Zappos tailgate. Live music, food, beer garden. 8 o'clock, we kick off. By 10 o'clock, we're celebrating a victory. Go to lightsfc.com. We'll see you at the game.
By the people, for the people,
people of the people. Viva Lights, everybody.
We love it. Hey, thanks, Brett. Really appreciate you coming in. Hey, more to come on Channel 8. Who's getting ready for the huge September race in Las Vegas? It's going to be fun. NASCAR rolls into Vegas next month. Some history will be made. A first NASCAR race in the fall in Vegas. More next here on Channel 8.
new CBS Mondays this fall.
All right, the anticipation revving up at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The track hosted a 3-race weekend in March, but for the first time ever, doubling up. A second race weekend in September. Vice President of Communications, Jeff Motley, says the Las Vegas racing community is full speed ahead.
We've probably talked about having 2 races in Las Vegas since our current management team got here in 1999, hoping for a second race. And with the efforts of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority stepping up and helping us get that second race, we were able to announce that last year. And yeah, it was a 20-year process that really kind of came to an end by making the announcement last year. And now here it is. It's just 3 weeks away, and I think we're all very excited about getting this thing going. We're one of only 2 destinations that have 2 NASCAR races and 2 NHRA events. In addition to that, and I think the fact that you have 2 races, there's not that many places, and you're talking about legendary places like Daytona, like Charlotte, like Bristol. I mean, these are the places that have 2 races, and for us to be part of that list now, and for NASCAR to entrust starting their playoffs in Las Vegas, we're going to be able to have the National Media Day for the playoffs. That's going to be here in Las Vegas. It's really even going to be a quadruple header weekend because we're going to race a K&N race on our dirt track on Thursday night. This is a first-time shot for us to have this fall event, to have a playoff race. So we want to put our best foot forward. We want to have the biggest crowds possible, and we want to make sure that everybody who comes to Las Vegas for this race has a great time. But we've also found a lot of people who, they couldn't come in March, and now they can actually come because it's in September. And there's going to be some people who come in September that won't be here in March. And I think what we're going to find is we're going to find 2 different groups of crowds coming for 2 different kinds of races, but you're still going to have some core fans that are going to come to both.
That is going to be a busy, busy weekend. Still ahead, the UNLV football team in game mode because their season opener is coming up next Saturday at USC. When we come back, what are the players saying? They're going to play in the Coliseum. They're excited about that opportunity. Last time UNLV played USC in the Coliseum, the Rebels actually had the lead late in the 3rd. More next here on
Bernstein.com.
All right, welcome back. You know, in 8 days, UNLV football has a chance at recording the greatest win in school history. Upsets don't come easy, especially in the Coliseum. A week from now, UNLV will be on the road to Troy. Rebels open at USC, a perennial powerhouse, but Tony Sanchez and his team aren't starstruck. And their experience of playing Michigan, UCLA, Ohio State the last 3 years has them ready for the big city and big program experience.
We've played kids that are better than them. We've played kids that are worse than them. You know, they're a well-coached team. It's going to be a fun game to play. I mean, through high school, we played against those same kids in high school. You know, they're kids just like us, 20-some years old, just like us, you know, just a game. I'm excited to play, and I'm excited to take it to them. You know, I mean, I'm an old lineman, right? So I'm not there for the glitz and the glamour. I'm there to play football. You know, my favorite time to play football is when nobody's watching, you know, when it's just there. You know, I'm going to wear it on my shirt every day right here. It says expect to win. I wear it every day for practice. Expect to win every rep, expect to win every game, expect to win every play. You know, so it's the mentality I got with it.
All right, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Next Saturday at the Coliseum. Now, we had some highlights earlier. In 1997 they played, and it was in the second half. UNLV had a 21-14 lead late in the third. So we'll see how they go. Now,
Let's
remember,
hope that happens again.
Yeah, USC has a freshman quarterback, as you know. And so it'll be an interesting game, hopefully, for the UNLV's offense, because offensively they have the power. Yeah. Defensively, will they be able to shut them down? That's going to be the big question.
They got to get to that freshman QB, shake them up a little bit.
Shake them up a little bit. Yeah.
Also, I believe in the movie Miracle.
Jam-packed show. What was the big memory from this past year?
That show.
Oh, the Knights.
The Knights.
The Golden Knights.
Another one. Oh, we're out of time.
WNBA.
WNBA.
Soccer.
Soccer.
Hoops, the Aces.
Boxing.
Everything. Good. Bye.